Hello, fifth graders. So today we are going to be talking about our very last topic or lesson in topic 1. All right. So we are going to be having a test on topic 1 on Friday. All right. But Thursday we are going to do a little bit of a review. We'll be able to practice a little bit more. I'm also going to meet with you guys as well on Google Meet, and we can review a little bit that way as well. So the last topic is rounding decimals. Now, in order to round decimals, we do have this little rhyme right here, okay? And now I do know in 4th grade, you guys did round things. Not really decimals, but I know you did round whole numbers. And you might have had this little rhyme that goes 5 or above, give it a shove, 4 or less, let it rest, okay? And rounding decimals is pretty much the same as well, all right? So the first step in this little rhyme to help us remember how to round decimals is to find your place. So what I mean by that, when we are asked to round to the nearest 10th or round to the nearest 100th, your first step is to find your place. So find the 100th place in the decimal, find the 10th place in the decimal. And then you're going to look next door. All right? So you're going to look at the number to your right, and that's going to tell you what to do. Okay, so find your place, then look next door. 5 or greater, just add 1 more. So that's a number 1. So if it's 5 or greater, just add 1 more to your place. What do you do when it's 4 or less? Don't round up, just let it rest. Okay, now this is very important, this last line. Digits in the front just stay the same. Digits behind, zeros their name. So let's do a little example, and we'll use this rhyme to help us. All right. So it says the directions say round to the nearest 100th. So the first step is to find our place. So we're going to find our 100ths place value. So that's the 10ths. Right here is the 100th. So the 6 is in the 100ths place value. All right, so we found our place. Now we look next door to our right. And this 8 is going to tell us what to do with that 6. All right, now you may see this circle here and this arrow here. Now you obviously can't circle or draw an arrow, so you can move on your Google Slides, move that arrow to where you're pointing to the neighbor and move that circle to where you're finding your place. So that will help you organize your work a little bit. All right, so we found our place and then we looked next door. Now, is this 8? Is it 5 or greater? Yes. So that our neighbor tells us that we have to bump this 6 up to a 7. All right. Now, this is really important. The last few lines of the rhyme, it says digits in the front. So these digits right here, these digits in the front stay the same. So it gets 32, and then the 4 stays the same. Now the 6 we just said gets bumped up to the 7. And then the last line, it says digits behind, zeros their name. So we used our neighbor to help us. Now we're going to lose our neighbor and just make it a 0. So this right here is our answer when we're rounding this number to the nearest 100th. So let's look at another example. The next one says round to the nearest 10th. So the first line is to find your place. So the 2, we can circle that, is in the 10th place. So we found our place. Now we look next door. And that 0, what that 0 tells us, it's not 5 or greater, so we don't add 1 more to the 2. It's 4 or less, so we let that 2 rest. And this 2 right here is going to stay a 2. Digits in the front, meaning this 7, stays the same. We didn't change the 2. And then the digits behind, so these digits right here, zeros their name. So we have 3 zeros there. All right, and this is our answer, rounded to the nearest 10th. So let's do a few more practice problems. This one, it says round each number to the nearest whole number. When it says that, you want to circle the ones place. Okay, so when you hear whole number, your place that you're finding is the ones place value. So we're rounding to the nearest whole number, 4 5/10. Well, our place is the ones. So we're going to circle the 4. Okay, find your place. Look next door to that 5. Now that is 5 or above. So 5 or above, give it a shove. So we're going to make that 4 and we're going to round it up to a 5. And then all digits behind zeros their name. All right, let's look at the next one. We're going to find our ones place because we're rounding to the nearest whole number. So the 2 is in the one place. Find your place. Look next door. Okay, so that 3 is not 5 or greater. It's actually 4 or less. So that means that the 2, we're going to keep the same. It's going to let it rest. So digits in the front, meaning that 7 in the front stays the same. The 2 stays the same. We didn't bump it up. All digits behind, meaning this 3 and this 4, zeros their name. All right, and the last one, round to the nearest whole number. So we circle the ones. So again, the 2's in the ones place. Find your place. Look next door. That 9 bumps up that 2. Okay, that 9 bumps up the 2 because it's 5 or greater, and the 2 is now a 3. All digits in front stay the same. The 2 is now a 3. All digits behind, 0 is their name. And again, while we're doing these circles and these arrows, you cannot draw a circle and arrow. So make sure to drag all of these examples to where you can put them so you can help organize your work. Let's look at a few more examples. So the next one, it says, round each number to the hundredths place. So we're going to be circling the hundredths place value. So first step is to find your place. So the 2 is in the hundredths place. Find your place. Look next door to the 8. That 8 is 5 or above. So we give that 2 a shove. This 2 becomes a 3. All digits in the front stay the same. The 2 became a 3, bumped it up. All digits behind, zeros their name. All right, and the next example, hundredths again. We're going to underline the hundredths place value. All right, so we have the tenths, we have the hundredths right here. Find your place, look next door. So that 3 tells us that it's not 5 or above, so it's 4 or less. We're going to let that 1 rest. So again, all digits in the front stay the same. Just rewrite them. The 1, we're going to let it rest. And then we used our neighbor. All digits behind, we lose our neighbor. 0 is their name. And that's both of those numbers round to the nearest hundredth. And the last 2, round to the nearest tenth. So we're going to underline or circle the tenths place. So the 8 is in the tenths place value. Find your place. Look next door. The 2 is not 5 or greater. The 2 is 4 or less. So we're going to let that 8 rest. Digits in the front stay the same. So 47 stays the same. The 8, we let it rest. Digits behind, 0 is their name. And the very last example, again, tenths place. So circle that tenths place, find your place, look next door. That 9 obviously is greater than 5, so we're going to bump up. But how do we bump up? I can't really see that. How do we bump up? If we circle this, how do we bump up this 9 right here? How do we bump that up? We can't just make this a 1 and then a 0. Well, it's 99, so we're going to bump it up, and we're actually going to increase that too. So the whole entire place value, it's 2 and 99 hundredths. When we round up, becomes 3, and then all digits behind zeros their name. Because there's no way we can make that the 9 bumps the other 9 up, and the other 9, there's nowhere else to go, so it has to bump up that 2, so it becomes 3 wholes. All right, so attached to this Edpuzzle is going to be a little Google form review, okay? Now, it's going to be on this topic, but it's also going to be on your other topics from topic 1 and your other lessons from topic 1, because I want you to complete this Google form to review, and then we're going to have a little bit more of a review on Thursday when I meet with you guys, all right? And we're going to meet through Google Meet, and we're going to talk about this review a little bit. And then on Friday, we're going to have a test, all right? So make sure, complete the Google form that's attached to this Edpuzzle to review for your test. And then Thursday, we're going to do a little bit more of a review, and I'll be able to answer any questions, all right? Email me if you do have any questions, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.